All right, got my recessed lights all wired up where it needs to go. Okay, I had an old light here and an old light there, and I'm going 6-inch recessed in here. Also putting one over here. Okay, so now I'm gonna hang my SheetRock 5/8 inch SheetRock, which is kind of heavy, but I'm gonna do it solo, and I'll put this on the tripod so you can see how I'm gonna do it. And it helps if you have a scaffold. If you got a scaffold, you can actually lift it up and sit it there and then get on the scaffold and then lay it up. So what I did was I put a 2x4 up there. I think it's only like a 24-inch, 30. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna lay it on there, but you'll see. I'll show you in a second. Okay. All right. Once you get it on there, okay, you can get up on your scaffold. And then push it in. There we go. Okay, I got another piece of wood here. On this side, just screwed in and it swivels. Just turn it on there. Gives you enough time to grab your screw gun and then screw it in. So literally I can get down. I wouldn't trust it, but I'm gonna trust it because I know I did it. Show you what I mean. There's a screw in that holding this end, and then there's my 2x4 on the wall. Make sure you catch into the framing or else it won't hold. Alright, and that's how I do it solo. I'm going to use my drywall gun here. 1.25" screws for 5/8 should be good. Cut out my hole up there for my recessed light, and I don't have a rotor zip. I'm just going through SheetRock here, 5/8 inch. So if you have a Dremel tool, you can also use a Dremel. And usually the Dremels come with like this little bit here. You screw it on, and that's all you need to use. One of these little plastic, it's like an adapter that goes on, and you use it like a different. It looks like a drill bit. It's like a shank bit. I really don't know what that's called, but this and this together. If I find this, I'll put it in the description. But yeah, that makes a good rotor zip go clockwise, counterclockwise. And you can see how perfect the cut is. It's pretty nice. SheetRock 1/4 inch on the wall. not very many studs on this wall here. It's kind of like plywood behind it, so it's kind of hard to grip in there. So what I had to do is just put some glue on the back of these and just kind of get as many screws as I could. The glue should hold it. So that's where I stopped. Got a lot more to do, but that's where I'm at. This part here, I'll just cut this off when I get this sheetrock in. It's looking good. Alright, just got finished. I have one of those pet doors down here that opens automatically. What I had to do is take it out, unscrew it, take it out, and then what I did was there was a hole in the outside, so I put some plywood and then I just put some shims around it to screw it in to the other plywood that's existing, and I just put insulation in there and sheetrock, and then we're good. Alright, next thing I did was I took the air conditioning out because it had those little fan side pieces that fan out. I took those off because I don't like the way they look, and I added two 2x4s to fill in the gap, and then I just put some old sheetrock over that, and then I'll go and sheetrock over this again. That way when I do my little, I'll do a little trim around it and it'll be nice and close to the air conditioning and we won't see that little funky side piece. And here's the side pieces that I'm talking about. Alright, no more cat door, and the sheetrock is covered that nicely. And you can see how nice the AC is now. I got that sheetrock real close all the way around. And then I could just put some screws, 2 screws into the wood, holding the AC to the wall. I got to drill through the metal bracket on the top and at the bottom. There's wood behind it. I just go right through that. It'll secure the AC. And you can see my window edges. I went around so there's no seam on the window where it can crack. Prone to cracks right here on the edge. I did that over here as well, around this window, around here. See my seams away from the edge. Alright, got this wall here almost finished. I decided to put them up vertically rather than horizontal because the sheetrock done before is horizontal, so we're gonna go vertical the other way. That should give it double the strength. And this side I went horizontally because it was a little funky. The outlets are cut out. I gotta get a junction box here. Alright, this wall's done, and that wall's done, and then I'm stopping here at the bathroom because this wall, it's missing some framing in the edge here in the corner. So I need to put a stud in here. Really needs one going all the way up because then I try to get some screws and I realize it's just bricks back here. There's no stud, so I might need to put a piece of wood there. If not, I'm gonna have to glue my piece on the edge all the way up this edge. And also this doorway, I need a new door, and I need it to swing in instead of out. And they put I think there's 6-inch studs right here, so I'm not sure if that's correct, if you're supposed to use 6-inch or if it's supposed to be 4. But I gotta get a new doorway. You can see this is split in half. It's not even a full piece of the framing of the door. And the same problem over there. That door is it's a half of a door frame, so I need to get a new door for that anyway. And so I'm going to stop there until I can get a couple new doors with a new door frame. And then I'll finish up this sheetrock here and over there, but the rest is good. Just need one more piece right here. I ran out of 5/8. Alright, here's where I'm at on my walls. Use mesh tape here. And 2 coats on here. And on these joints, all 2 coats. Ceiling, it's got 1 coat. I gotta do 2, that's the 2nd coat. And a little bit, I think there's a 2nd coat on that one with a 12-inch the rest needs a second coat on the ceiling. This one's got a second coat here. And then I usually do 2 coats over the mesh tape, and then I'll just get the mud in a bucket, you know, the pre-mixed stuff, and I'll just get out any little imperfections that I have there. And I went and patched up here because I ran out of 5/8 inch drywall, so I had a little piece left, so I put 2 pieces, and then I had a little strip of this 1/2 inch, and then I just mudded it real thick, so you won't be able to tell. Yeah, a lot of work doing drywall. It's no joke. It's repetitive, a lot of repetitive stuff you got to do over and over. I got my corner piece on here. It's almost dry, and I don't have to use the mud in a bag, but I do it anyway, just to be on the safe side. I don't know, I don't really trust the pre-mixed stuff, even though, you know, it'll work the same. And not only that, it takes too long to dry. You know, when you're trying to do a second coat, you gotta wait a whole day. And if you use this stuff in a bag, the 45-minute mud, this will dry like in an hour. And then you can put another coat. So that's where I'm at. Still got to figure out what I want to do about that door, because I got to put sheetrock around there, but it needs to be reframed.
I don't know if you ever done it, but sanding drywall sucks.
I'm ready for primer. I'm going to use PVA primer on this by Kills. It says on the drum not to paint over with a gloss paint or anything with a high sheen, but I'm not doing that, so I should be okay. I'm going to use probably a shell. All right, walls have been primed. And any little imperfections after the first coat, I went and put some mud, and you can kind of see it, those little blotches there. That's all spots where it was imperfections still. I went and mudded over it, so I'll wait for that to dry. Then I'll sand that, and then I'll re-primer just those spots, or I'll go over everything one more time. We'll see. But while I'm waiting for that to dry, I'm gonna go and put down my waterproof rigid core flooring, and I'm gonna put some new underlayment. This is 2-in-1. I'm gonna put some 3-in-1 down here. All right, so this is vinyl, 100% waterproof stuff. It does have a little bit of padding on there, but I'm still gonna use 3-in-1 padding under this, so I can have it super quiet. This stuff's pretty good quality, pretty thick. All right, halfway done here, almost there. Just a little bit more. This is just like installing laminate. The only difference is these seams, they have to be pounded down with a hammer, because they don't just fit in there like the laminate does. You actually have to use pressure to get it to finish the floor. It's all finished up finally. Took me a whole day to finish this floor, and today I just had to finish up the last row of cuts, and now I'm done. First time installing vinyl plank. I've done laminate before, but vinyls, it's pretty good, other than you gotta hammer this seam here has to always be hit down, and once it compresses into that plastic, there's no way you can remove this without that breaking. So this one is like, once you install it, you can't ever reinstall it somewhere else. It's stuck there. Once you take it apart, you'll end up breaking the floor. Those seams will no longer be able to come back together unless you like glue them. Who's gonna want to do that? But anyways, once you put the floor down, you shouldn't ever have to remove it. And anyways, it looks really good. Really happy with this one. It's pretty thick. I cut some. This is not Life Proof by Home Depot, but it is another brand that they sell. and it's equivalent in size to Life Proof. So I got a rigid core. I'll show you the box. It says it's just I don't think it's a name brand. It just says rigid core flooring. That's all it says, really. I don't really know who makes it, but check it out. After cutting this open and comparing it to the Life Proof, which is it's a little bit more expensive, maybe $1 more square, because I got this one on sale, and I compare it, and they're about the same thickness. All right, yeah, exactly the same. So I'm happy with it. It seems pretty sturdy. Actually, the wear layer on the one I bought looks a little bit thicker, or about the same. No, it's about the same. All right, so I don't know, maybe this one's a little bit harder material. Feels really solid. This one has some flex to it, not a whole lot, but you know, it has a little bit of give. If you get a little piece like this, you can actually start to bend it a little bit. Okay, if you bend it the other way, okay, it'll finally crack. But I'm pretty sure even the hard stuff will crack like that too, this other Life Proof stuff. This is a 20-year one that I was thinking about getting, but I'm pretty happy with the one I got. And they both have the underlayment padding. Okay, but I use padding anyway, some orange padding anyway, so give it better sound absorption. So you're jumping or something, because this is going to be a gym, you'll be jumping and it's not so loud. See, I'm jumping, pretty quiet, pretty cushiony. All right, that's it for this one. I'm gonna be working on the windows next, probably reglazing them and sanding and repainting these old wood window sashes. These are not super old, but they are old, and they have aluminum tracks, so that's how I know they're probably from the 50s or 60s, maybe even 70s, I'm not sure. Could be from the 80s too, because they do still sell these wood sashes at Home Depot or whatever. You can order those. But yeah, next video, sanding the window trim, putting new trim around the windows, which is over here, which will be the same that I'm using on the door. And what I'm thinking is maybe to do like a charcoal trim gray around it or something, or a light gray. Not sure quite yet. And I'm thinking about doing vinyl blinds here, like what I did in the bathroom here. I think these are aluminum. Or is it vinyl or aluminum? I think it's vinyl. But yeah, they make these in silver color, which would be perfect for in here. But that's it for this video, and more to come. Hopefully I'll show you guys a video of this all finished up with the gym equipment.